Alrighty guys, we're back for some Mono Red Defiler, and this is a Dominaria United Standard Brew. We're going to go over the deck, then hop right into some ranked, but first things first, for anyone who may not know, I'm Redcat and I play aggro decks and any decks with red in them as well, so I hope that sounds fun to you guys. Okay, Meathook is gone, guys. It is officially no longer allowed to be played on Arena, so well, in standard, of course, but so I thought it would be fun to revisit Mono Red in a way that we haven't seen, at least recently, and that is with like Goldhound and Professional Facebreaker going a little bit of a treasure route here because we got Sticky Fingers in here too. So Goldhound is a 1-drop 1/1 first strike menace, tap it, sack it, add 1 mana of any color. It's pretty sick to go turn 1 Goldhound and then go like turn 2 Chandra and then plus the Chandra and drop like a Kumano faces Kakkazan or something. That is in fact a line of play, and it shocks me that Goldhound doesn't see like any play anywhere. Let me know if you guys play with Goldhound down in the comments because yeah, it's so good, man. And then it's got the first strike and the menace, so it's going to work wonders with a bunch of other cards in here, too. So we got 4 Hammerhands as well. Kind of already went over Kumano. Got 4 Phoenix Chick in here, which is going to really work well with the Sticky Fingers, because imagine this, too. You could go like turn 1 Kumano faces Kakkazan into a turn 2 Phoenix Chick, and then drop a Sticky Fingers on the Phoenix Chick. I get the you got the +1 counter from the Kumano, so it's a 2/2 flying haste with the Sticky Fingers attached to it, so it also has menace. It hits, you get a treasure token. Now you could do something else like keep a play with fire open. We got 4 play with fires in here as well. Never underestimate, I always bring this up, but never underestimate the power of scrying in an aggro build. My goodness. So we got a single Shivan Devastator here as well, and it was between the Devastator and the March of the Reckless Joy. I think sometimes we're going to have a lot of extra mana. I think March of the Reckless Joy could go a long way, find stuff off the top that we need. You know, X could easily be 4, for example, or something like that. And then you get to play 2 of them. But I decided on Devastator because we don't have too many cards to run out after the Kumano's second chapter here, so we want to get as many benefits off of Kumano as possible. I guess don't worry about it too much because overall Kumano is just such a powerful card anyways, but I thought Devastator could be cool because you could always still run it down on turn 2 where X is 1 and then get an extra counter off of that second chapter on the saga, right? So it's something to think about. Also, yeah, later on in the game, you might have a ton of extra mana from a ton of extra treasures, for example. So running down Devastator where X is 5 or greater or something ridiculous like that could easily close out a game. We got 4 Radha's Firebrands here. So the 2 mana 3/1, I personally think just got a whole lot. It was already really good, but I think it got a whole lot better now that Meathook is out of the equation. So when it attacks, target creature defending player controls with power less than Radha Firebrand's power can't block this turn. So between this and Hammerhand and the menace on Sticky Fingers, Goldhound has its own menace. Like we're gonna be slipping these creatures through easily. That's what I think, at least. And of course, like the evasion on the Phoenix Chick and stuff, like evasion on Devastator. These creatures are gonna be smacking the opponent's face. That's the goal, at least. That's the hope. Also has the domain ability on here. That's something else you can plug that extra mana into. Like I said, if we get extra mana, which we very well might. So we got 4 of the Professional Facebreakers, which I believe I already mentioned. I just didn't go over it. 3 mana, 2/3 with menace. Whenever 1 or more creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, create a treasure token. Yeah, and of course that works with first strike as well. So the first strike will go through, you'll get the treasure. And then the normal strike will go through, you'll get another treasure, which is pretty cool. And of course, you'll get treasures off of Sticky Fingers if you got those on some of your creatures too. So that's what I mean, man. You might have a lot of extra mana in this build. Now you can sacrifice a treasure. So here's another thing you can do with all that extra stuff. Sacrifice a treasure, exile the top card of your library. You may play that card this turn. So nice. This is perfect in a deck that has so many 1 mana cards. Got 4 Chandra Dressed to Kill. And originally I was thinking 3 of them because, you know, it's a legendary planeswalker and sometimes you're only going to see Chandra, but I think it's too important to see. I really do. Yeah. The top +1 here where you add a red source deals 1 damage to up to 1 target player or planeswalker. It's so simple, man, because now you just play Chandra on your turn 3 and you almost guarantee to play something else with it because there's so many 1 mana cards here. So you could immediately play with Fire the opponent's face, for example, if that's something you want to do. I mean, you get the Scry, so that's good at least. Or you could just run down the Phoenix Chick and swing in, for example. So yeah, I think the 4 Chandra is really going to work out here. And of course, I called it Mono Red Defiler for a reason. We got 2 Defiler of Instincts here on the very, very top end. 4 mana, 4/4 first strike has an additional cost to cast a red permanent spell. You may pay 2 life. Those spells cost 1 red less to cast if you paid mana, or if you paid life this way. This effect reduces only the amount of red mana you pay. Whenever you cast a red permanent spell, Defiler of Instinct deals 1 damage to any target. Yeah, I think Defiler of Instinct's going to be pretty sweet. I don't think it's going to be worth 3 or 4 of them in here, because you're not always going to get there, I don't think. I guess for the most part, yeah, you'll usually see the 4th mana, especially with your treasures, but you still don't want more than 2 of these, I don't think. I think that's going to slow down the deck too much. Now, we're only rocking 21 land. Hopefully that's enough. We've been getting pretty punished recently by our mana bases in these builds, and like there's just so many moments where we don't see enough mana and then we see way too much mana in the next game. So I mean, we'll see. One of them is of course the Crucible of Defiance here too. Okay, oh, forgot to take that out of the sideboard. I think that's everything, guys. Hopefully I went over it well enough. It's a relatively simple build. I do think it's going to be a little bit harder to play because of all the mana that's like getting onto the board and all the different plays. Like you can easily play cards out of order in a deck like this. So I'm a little nervous because I didn't practice with it first. So we'll see. I mean, we'll be fine. We'll be fine. All right, let's go ahead, take it into some ranked and see how we do. All right into the first match here. Very nice. What you bringing to the table, opponent? I'm really excited to see if anything has changed. Like the update just happened though, so I can only imagine that the people who had Meathook in the deck or Meathook style decks just dropped the Meathook and put more removal in. But honestly, I think it's gonna depend. We're gonna go Kumano here over the Phoenix Chick. So usually Delver flips first time, yeah. Usually Delver flips the first time, and then if they get like a second Delver, it skips that Delver. We'll see if that happens. But they want to obviously keep this open. Spell Pierce hits our Hammerhand easily. So I guess we'll attempt our creature, but we do know that like Make Disappears and stuff exist. I would hate to lose the Firebrand, but this really just feels like it's gonna not happen. I'd rather the Phoenix Chick here, and I think they actually let this hit too though, because it's not like it can block the Delver. Right. And then they have the Spell Pierce for the Hammerhand, which I'm actually just going to wait on then. The Spell Pierce can be played around, we just need more mana on the board. Kumano flips into Etching next turn. Yeah, that's another scary thing with Meathook gone, is mono blue going to be the top dog? Is that what's going to be played the most? Which is pretty scary. I think I would prefer the mono black builds. I don't know though. Another Kumano. That's pretty good, honestly. So they have the Spell Pierce open. We could always let them Spell Pierce the Hammerhand. I'd rather them hit Hammerhand than anything else here. Now's the best time to get the Firebrand on the board. And so we're going to do that. I suppose they could be keeping open a Fading Hope as well as a Consider as well. And so if we go Hammerhand and it is a Fading Hope, then they don't even have to use the Spell Pierce. They just bounce the Firebrand back to hand, and then that's that. So that would suck. But we're already so slow. I think we're going to try it anyways. Ledger Shredder Connives. Crap, that's true. Yeah, that's something too. That's something too. Okay, it is going to be a Spell Pierce though. That's good. So that's good. I mean, it's not good. It's just, at least it's not the Fading Hope that I was thinking about, because then they'd still have that Spell Pierce in hand too. Okay, we're just going to go no attacks because Shredder now blocks really well because I played 2 cards this turn. If the Hammerhand would have hit, then Firebrand would have been able to make Shredder unable to block. So, man, this depends. This depends, guys. Somehow this whole hand has felt slow, but I think that's just kind of how it is going up against Mono Blue. Gonna keep these 2 open. Oh, 3. Oh, boy. Okay, Goldhound. I mean, the Defiler doesn't hit here, I don't think. We can't block in the air with the Phoenix Chick. I think we play our Crucible. I think that's fine. We're kind of in trouble because with Defiler, like, we'd love to play these out, but we're already getting so low. I guess we start with a swing. There's nothing we can do about these flying cards, so yeah, let's go ahead and start with the swing. Down to 10. Okay, they got 5 in the air. Gotta be careful, guys. Because if we play 2 things, the Shredder connives again. But no matter what we play, we gotta consider the fact that it's probably gonna get countered. And so playing around a Make Disappear might just be better than trying to run down the Defiler. But I don't, yeah, I don't want to run both of these down. Yeah, alright, we're going to try the Defiler. Because if it eats a counter... Okay, there's the Essence Scatter. Alright, so... Yeah, going Defiler, because we don't want to play Kumano and the Goldhound. Down to 4. We have 1 turn to get this damage through, and I don't think we're going to get there, but we could draw like... Oh, they got a blocker too now. Uh-oh. Oh no, I mean, the Firebrand. We have 9 damage with the Firebrand's ability. So if we would have went Goldhound, I think they still would have Essence Scattered, right? There's the problem of if we use the ability, then we don't get Kumano. Because this cost all 5. So I think they're just going to have like a Fading Hope or something. Unfortunately, the opponent got us here, guys. So make the Delver, unable to block. Yeah, this was so close. This was so close, guys. So if we would have played Goldhound last turn, and if it would have hit... Okay, no, they had something anyways. Slip out the back to protect themselves. So yeah, they had this either way then. Okay, good. I mean, not good, but, you know, at least it wasn't the fact that I tried Defiler of Instinct the turn before, you know? Yeah, good game opponent. Very, very tough deck to play against, guys. Like I said, I don't know. Would I prefer all the mono black builds? Well, right now I definitely would, now that Meathook's out of them. I'm not nearly as concerned about some of the other very powerful black cards, like Invoke Despair and stuff. It's a very powerful card, don't get me wrong. But the number of times Meathook has just had us sobbing. Alright. I like this hand. Might be able to get that sticky fingers down next turn too. Yeah, this one looks like this game looks like it's going to be a very different game. Get that extra mana going right away. Let's go sticky fingers. Should we do it this turn? Nah. We'll just hold off on the treasure in case we get a 3-drop like Chandra. Okay. Kumano. Alright, sticky fingers number 2. We got 2 mana open. Swing. Nice. Not bad. Couple more treasures, and I wonder what board wipes the opponent is rocking. Kumano hits. Hammerhand is open. If we draw like a Radha or a Facebreaker, that would be awesome. I mean, we have enough mana. Even a Defiler off the top would be insane. I mean, we don't even... Yeah. And we have 5 mana on the board with the treasure, so... Nice. The lifelink can go a long way. 3rd Hammerhand, that's a little bit janky of a draw, isn't it? So, they're going to be able to gain those 2 back every turn for a little bit here. Doesn't look like they want to use a cut down on a Phoenix chick, huh? Right. Am I holding all 3 Hammerhands back like a madman? Absolutely. It is extra damage. It is. It does give the creature +1/+1. But I feel like we might be able to outpace the opponent here. Like, because there's so much we can draw. And I think the 3 Hammerhands, right, like we can make that token. Oh, professional Facebreaker! Let's go, guys. Alright. Professional Facebreaker is gonna hit. Let's do this. Hammerhand. This is sick. Oh, man. We have 5, 6, 7. I'm gonna save the other Hammerhands. I think that is fine. And we get this swing in. We get a bunch of treasure, and let's see what we can play before they take out our Facebreaker. Sure, yeah, we'll play the mana. What else we can find here? Another Hammerhand. I mean, play that card this turn. We might as well play it. And I'll put it on etching. Yeah, I'll put it on etching. I think that's fine. And I'm actually going to hold off. Because if we hit a Defiler off the top with... Well, there's only 2 Defilers. We could hit a Chandra. Another land, huh? Alright, now I'll hold off. That's fine. That's fine. All 4 Hammerhands, that's just like... That's weird. Yeah, GG opponent. Oh, man. That's what the deck was kind of supposed to do, a little bit. Now, if this was a Meathook standard, I mean, like I said, there's still plenty of board wipes, so we don't know what kind of board wipes they could have been rocking. There's probably a lot that could have devastated us. Hey, even a Meathook for 3 couldn't have got... Yeah, the Facebreaker would have been safe from a Meathook for 3. It's good that we don't have to worry about it anymore, but like my brain is completely hardwired to think about like Meathook and play around it and stuff, so it's gonna be very weird. Gonna be very bizarre. Oh man. Let's see if we can get more games like that. Honestly, we could have drawn better there. We really could have. So we'll see. Overall it was pretty good, but like all 4 of the Hammerhands was just a little bit something else, wasn't it? Good hand. Watch this, guys. Turn 2 Chandra. Hello, opponent. We don't get hellos every day. Maybe some werewolves from the opponent. That would be cool. I do love some werewolves. Okay, pack leader. This could still be Gruul, though. Kumano. Okay. Just be like normal Gruul aggro is what I should say there. Turn 2 Chandra, still worth it? Or is it Facebreaker now? Facebreaker's pretty good. But I like the Hammerhand Facebreaker stuff going on. So don't forget the first strike on the Goldhound too. So that protects us from the pack leader for a turn here. Beast Caller. So this is not werewolves. This is going to be some Gruul aggro. Got another mountain. And 1, 2, right. So Goldhound's a mana 2 if we want it to be. Beast Caller's pretty scary. Start with the Chandra.
You're lucky this is a warning shot.
Probably Hammerhand. Thank you, opponent. Beast Caller can't block. We're gonna get 2 extra mana, or we could go Sticky Fingers. Well, 2. Yeah, both of these have menace. And the first strike's gonna get us an extra treasure too. And then we're gonna run down. See if they attack Chandra. At least that's not our face. Get the Kumano down now and save the Sticky Fingers for next turn. If they take out Chandra, it's fine. Because our Facebreaker is doing a thing now, so... there was probably a better way to play that out. That's kind of what I was talking about when I was going over the deck. It's going to be like relatively complicated lines of play that, I don't know, it seems like it's... like I'm definitely going to need some practice, so... Man, the Thundering Raiju coming down... doing a ton of damage and taking out our Chandra. We're gonna need something special off the Facebreaker, huh? Or a really good draw here too. A second Facebreaker? Okay. We're in danger, guys. We are absolutely in danger here. Gruul is looking very scary. Extra treasure could go a long way. We could always start with what we see on this treasure here. Don't forget you could sacrifice Goldhound too if you need to. Crucible, huh? Okay. Let's go... get the land down first. We could search. Just get some treasure. Could play Facebreaker, get extra treasure. Let's do it. I think we're dead. I think we are. But at the same time, this is pretty fun. We get a lot of extra treasure. And so, this is another 3 treasure, right? It's pretty cool. Let's see what we hit. We could hit a Defiler. Kumano. Cool. They're down to 8, but we're super dead. We could have saved blockers back and stuff too, but sometimes it's worth it just to have some fun, you know? Better do this now, because we could find like a Play with Fire to take out Kumano. Could still find a 1-drop. I'm gonna do it. Do Goldhound this time, because this we could also find a 2-drop too. Phoenix Chick. I can't block though. Crap. Alright, we'll save that last treasure for next turn if we somehow survive, but I don't think we do. Like, this is a full swing. We... Second Raiju opponent, you monster. That's brutal, dude. Holy cow. Alright. Well, I'll still play it out. We'll do our blocks. I'll even do this. Hey, good game, opponent. Very good game. Well, I feel like that could have gone either way, honestly. I mean, this was the opponent's. I mean, like, this deck versus that deck. I think that it could have gone either way. Not this match in particular. Although Gruul looks super terrifying, but it's looked terrifying for a little while, so... Yeah, I think I would have preferred going up against some werewolves there. I gotta be real with you guys. Now, werewolves is just a little bit slower than that, but I still think there's something there for werewolves too, and I think it's about finding the right combination of cards for them. I'm having a good time with this deck so far. It's not the best hand. 4 mana is a lot of mana for this deck, but I don't think 5 mana is even more. that is not great. But we shouldn't draw too much more. Dropping a couple swamps right away. Hey, at least Meathook for 1 isn't happening next turn. Firebrand is out of here. I suppose the Phoenix Chick Sticky Fingers would have been good too. But yeah, the cut down was open. Graveyard Trespasser, huh? Gobble up the Firebrand. So Chandra into Phoenix Chick just got a lot worse because of Trespasser being able to swing in. Crucible, wow. Is it still Chandra? I guess so. Because Chandra at least survives the swing. We'll get the Phoenix Chick down and ready. Sticky Fingers is ready to go too, but it's not like we need that extra mana right now. My goodness, this is a lot of mountains. Might want to talk about that. We might want to go down to 20. Yep, they swing at Chandra. They don't have anything to gobble up here, so that's good. Unless they go ahead and use like their cut down on Phoenix Chick now. Which I think they're gonna swing at face, huh? Okay. Phoenix Chick might be safe for a turn, and we might be forced to use the channel ability here. Switches to nighttime, and I am super tempted by the second plus ability on Chandra. Yeah, let's do it. See what we hit. Professional Facebreaker. That's a card to hit. Very cool. See if it hits, or see if it survives, which it probably doesn't. Get the Sticky Fingers on Phoenix Chick and swing in, get a couple extra treasure, have Play with Fire open. Debt to the Kami. Target opponent exiles a creature they control. Huh. Interesting. What's the other ability they got there? Should we take the time to actually... No, we're gonna keep the Play with Fire open. Target opponent exiles an enchantment they control. This is a pretty cool card. Instant speed too, so yeah, I like that. I think we've seen this played in the past a little bit. I could definitely see it right now. If we're gonna see more of the Selesnya enchantments too. Aww, my Chandra. That's not very nice, opponent. Man, all the exile effects. It doesn't really affect this deck in particular, but they do not like graveyards. We're gonna take this damage. We're gonna Play with Fire their face, and hopefully we can make a comeback here. And Professional Facebreaker might just be the answer to do that, so... See what's on top first. Ditch the mountain that's on top, right? Gotta get it out of there. Oh, second Chandra. I'll take it. I think that's pretty good, actually. A lot of extra treasure here. Play the mountain, get Chandra down. See, they have 2 open still. Could be another cut down or an Infernal Grasp, which really does suck, but
I'm basically a professional at saving Innistrad by now.
I think what happens here is going to decide what we do with the Chandra. I think maybe we would have, I should have waited on the Chandra. Because I think if Facebreaker, okay, gets Infernal Grasped, yeah. So now, right. Removal Tribal is rough to play against. I don't want to use the second ability on Chandra because it might be like a Defiler of Instinct on top. At least it's daytime now, that's good. A little bit less damage. We have lost a lot so far. But we could still be in this. Actually swinging at the Chandra here. So that tells me they probably don't have another soul transfer or something in hand. Back to nighttime. Defiler. Oh, buddy. The first strike on Defiler is actually just insane. So now we gotta think. I guess what we'll do is we'll see what's on top. Because it could be nice. Okay. Get the Defiler down. Still sticking somehow. Apparently they still have something in the hand. Could just outright cast it. We don't gotta be fancy about it. Alright, opponent's down to 13. If Defiler of Instinct... yeah, I guess if Defiler of Instinct dies this turn, they swing at Chandra, and then it's not looking great for us. But they used so much spot removal already, that what are the odds that the last card in their hand is more spot removal? Hopefully low. No! Okay, second Infernal Grasp. So Chandra's gonna bite the dust here, and it's gonna come down to our draw again. Ah, man, that is tough. That is tough, buddy. Back to nighttime, naturally. Crucible. Get a swing. Are we concerned about dying? Let's start. Well, yeah, let's keep Play with Fire open for their turn in case there's a better target than their face. We could keep a chump blocker back, but I think we can still outrace this glutton. Maybe. Maybe. That is rough, though. It has been a Trespasser and all removal. And land, actually. They got a lot of land over there. Liliana. I guess they go for the discard here. Because what's the difference if we get rid of one of our 1/1s, you know? Oh, yeah, they're getting a lot of land. Yeah, we'll go ahead and hit the opponent's face here instead of the Liliana. Because I still think we can outrace this. Hammerhand. I don't think so. Right? Got 2 on the board. They're gonna swing. We got Etching coming out. I think we're looking for something better, but I don't know what we could actually get that would be better. So let's hold off on that for now. I wonder if maybe they hold back. Maybe they don't swing here, but we're getting so low. I would definitely swing, but Like, they know we're getting etching. They know that most mono red plays Raiju, which we're not running. They actually hold back, and drawing the mountain here, that's pretty devastating. We can't swing. Yeah, they knew we had 4 here, so if we did draw a Raiju, that would be that would be game over for them. So they thought it through. We're just not running the Raijus is the thing. They just don't know that. The mountain's pretty bad. We definitely need to see something every single turn if we're gonna want to come back from this. They drew a swamp too, so that's good news. I guess we could have played that, but what if they would have -2 then? Maybe they wanted whatever was in our hand to, yeah, let's keep it. I'd rather them plus the Liliana than minus, because having this board state is probably a little better than just having a 6 mana. Although they're getting very close to the -6 on this, which we're going to want to think about soon. So separate all permanents target player controls into 2 piles. That's all permanents, so oh my. That player sacrifices all permanents in the pile of their choice.
I'm tired of your
They can do that next turn, so. It'll be interesting. I haven't seen the -6 on Liliana of the Veil before, so. Oh, Tenacious Underdog, yeah. Yeah, I think we have been. I think that's it. And another mountain. Well. Yeah, I think the game has been decided at this point. Let's let them play this out. I've never seen the -6 on Liliana of the Veil, though, so it'll be interesting to see. So they could power up Bankbuster here, too, and then swing. They actually have 10 on the board. They just need my creatures to be gone. So we'll see what they end up doing here. And of course, we end up keeping the creatures then over the land, which is a little bit funny. We'll see how they separate it first. So we'll choose our pile, so we survive an extra turn. Sacrifice pile too. Wait, did I do this backwards? Oh, okay, well, it's fine. We'll let them. There was a back button there too. But, like, let's let them win. Let's get out of this miserable match. Oh no. Oh, they had a blitz for the underdog too. It's a great draw for the opponent. This lined up very nicely. Like, imagine if instead of that second Infernal Grasp, it was just like an underdog instead. Then we would have still had the Defiler, and this could have been a very different match, huh? Good news. We have time. Oh, good game, by the way, opponent. I think I forgot to drop it there. I believe I did. Anyways, we got time for 1 or 2 more, so let's do this. Actually have quite a bit of faith in the deck. 25% win rate right now. I think we're going to need more testing for sure. But overall, I think there's supposed to be power here. I think there is. We'll see though. Good hand. Opponent goes first, unfortunately. Well, let's see if we can actually. Might be mono blue. It's gonna be mono blue. So mono blue, some of them are running like 4 negates. I really want to try the turn 2 Chandra. But losing a Goldhound just for them to counter a Chandra with a negate is pretty brutal. So instead, we're going to play it slow. We're going to start with Kumano. Probably keep Play with Fire open then. And see what they do. Because next turn we could go... Okay, see if they do anything to the Play with Fire like a Spell Pierce. So Spell Pierce, keep 2 islands open would be pretty bad as well. I don't want the second Hammerhand right now. I don't know what we're looking for, but we need something to get by the counter spells. So we're going to attempt the Facebreaker. I know it's probably just going to get countered, but yeah, because we have a couple chances for Chandra to hit, and I think Chandra overall is going to be better than the Facebreaker. So there's an Essence Scatter. So also, if this would have hit, yeah, it would have got the counter too, whereas if Chandra would have hit, we would have wasted the Chapter 2 on Kumano, which isn't that big of a deal, but it is something to think about. I can only imagine the hand is completely packed with counter spells. Gonna pass it back. We have 2 open now. If it's gonna be a make disappear, we have the 2 open, but we don't want to lose the Goldhound right now. It's the only thing getting damage through. Well, we try it regardless. And a make disappear to keep Chandra, getting rid of Goldhound is worth it. Just to keep the Chandra on the board. So there's a Syncopate for 2. They still have a island here, so it could be a Spell Pierce. So the second Chandra tells me we should probably not pay. It's rough though. I think the big danger here is if we pay, then they drop the Spell Pierce, and then we lose the Goldhound. How do you guys feel about that declining here? I'm gonna keep the Hammerhand because we know that they can drop the Haughty Djinn, and that is a great blocker, so having a Hammerhand to stop that could be really good. Fading Hope or the Etching. Okay. So we do get the abilities on the Kumano again, which is good, but yeah, they take that threat off the board and potentially have the ability to counter it here too. So Firebrand is pretty good. Firebrand Hammerhand, that's a lot of damage. They've only played 3 cards so far. Why does it feel like they played 50? Oh man. Is it Chandra again? I'm gonna go Chandra. Like, we could play this in a different order if we really want Chandra to hit the board, but I think having Chandra down isn't going to be entirely vital here. But if it does hit, then we got that top +1 to add that red source. So then we still have like the 2 open for Kumano. But we don't necessarily want to get rid of Goldhound too. Like, the Goldhound isn't a big priority for the opponent, which is why, you know, they chose to Fading Hope the Kumano instead, for example. But there's the negate. They thought about that for a little while. So I wonder what the other option in hand is then. We're gonna go swing here first. They know we have Kumano, and I'd rather the Kumano get a Spell Pierce than the Hammerhand that's gonna try to give haste to the Firebrand next turn. Oh, there's the Scorn. Yeah, because we played 2 cards, they had the 2 open for the Scorn. Man, this is rough, guys. The good news is they're not seeing creatures. Not yet, at least. Let's attempt to give haste to the Firebrand here. There's the Essence Scatter. So Sticky Fingers giving us treasure isn't like the greatest thing, but it's something, and so maybe it depends. What's interesting here, well, okay, nice. So I'm gonna keep Hammerhand back again because we could draw like another Firebrand off the top. They're gonna run out of counter spells eventually, guys. So you have 2 mana open again. So 2 Essence Scatters are out, 1 Fading Hope, Syncopate, Negate, and a Scorn. They go for the Fading Hope. Unfortunately, Sticky Fingers doesn't draw us that card because that's only when the enchanted creature dies. Another Chandra. Nice. Let's try it. We have 2 mana open here. Plays around a Make Disappear nicely, and I mean, one negate is already out, so make disappear. We're gonna pay the 2, but we don't know what's left in their hand. Okay. Very nice, guys. They're gonna plus the Chandra. Opponent goes down to 9. We're gonna get that Goldhound back on the board. I'm feeling like this could go either way. Right now, the opponent's just looking for their creatures. Okay, so we're gonna actually use the second plus ability on Chandra because we're actually looking for something to play here. Play with fire. Not bad. I'll do that. We get this scry in. We only have this turn to play. Yeah, get that mountain out of here. No, thank you. Speaking of mountains, we'll go ahead and play this one. Tempted by the Hammerhand, but I understand that they still have the potential for great blockers. We do want to consider the top plus ability on Chandra because it could close the game on its own, but just trying to find cards to play is important too. Like if we would have drawn a mountain there, we would have used the second plus ability. Really? Another Essence Scatter? Huh. Well, I suppose Essence Scatter technically got a little better because Meathook's out of the format, right? So I guess it makes a little bit of sense to be running 3. Maybe 4. Probably 4, right? So, again, the top plus might just be enough to get them down the rest of the way, but finding cards to play... Yeah, not this turn. Not this turn. It's going to get that extra damage through and see what we draw. Keep the Hammerhand back. I think we're doing great, guys. I really do. They dropped the Consider, even though they've been able to absolutely devastate us with counter spells. Yeah, there we go, guys. Let's go. 40% total win rate. I think the more we play, I think we can easily bring this back up to around a decent win rate, maybe around a 55%, somewhere around there is what I would expect from a deck like this. But we definitely have things to talk about here. I do know one thing, though. Well, first, let's go over here. Okay, here's the deck list again. Right. So, what would I change? I don't know. I think more testing is required. I know I say that a lot, but that tends to be the case where 5 matches just isn't enough. We did get to see a lot of meta decks there. The Gruul aggro's terrifying. 2 of those matches were against blue, right? So I think you're going to see a lot of blue, and you can totally get there. You can definitely get there. The last opponent would have seen some of the creatures that they're running, like the Tolarian Terror and the Haughty Djinn. Maybe that would have been a different game, but at the same time, our deck was still able to get around some of those creatures. Like we were saving that Hammerhand back just for the occasion. Chandra's too important. I wouldn't drop this to 3. I think the 4 is definitely worth it. Facebreaker was awesome. Everything in the deck did its job. I think just a little bit here and there could go a long way. Like finding Defiler more often actually would have been pretty good, but I still don't know if you want to go up to 3 of these because sometimes you're only going to see Defiler and you're just not going to get the mana that you need. 21 mana is definitely enough for this particular build. I think you might even be able to go down to 20. I personally wouldn't. There's going to be matches where you just don't see a mountain ever, and you're going to really wish that you would see a 3rd land or something like that. But with all the extra treasures from cards like Sticky Finger and the ramp off a Goldhound and the treasures from Facebreaker, it's probably safe to go down to 20, but I personally wouldn't. But it's probably safe too. Devastator, did we see it today? I don't think so, but I still think it would have been worth it in a lot of those matches. Play with Fire was sweet, of course. Kumano, Hammerhand, Goldhound, Sticky Fingers. Everything was pretty sweet, huh? Yeah, I liked this deck. I enjoyed it. I don't know exactly what I would change. I think just more testing is required, and I don't think that this is definitely, or not definitely, I don't think this is the best way to put together red necessarily, but it's definitely a way, and without Meathook, decks like this are just better, I think. We don't really know where the opponents are going to land as far as board wipes and stuff, but just normal board wipes just aren't going to do the same thing, man. Like the life gain on Meathook was really what put the nail in the coffin most times, right? Because they would gain enough life, and that life would help them survive that couple extra turns so they could drop the second Meathook, and then they would gain more life, and usually that was just the end of it, right? The double Meathook was constantly just the end of the game. And so, yeah, I think decks like this are just better now, and I'm excited, man. So yeah, I don't know if that win rate definitely represents this deck. Like I said, if we played more matches, I think we would be able to get it up to around a 55% win rate, but maybe not too. I have no idea. It really depends. If you guys try out the deck, let me know in the comments, of course. Be cautious about what you craft, because we don't know where the meta is going to settle. Once again, it's not like a brand new meta or anything like that, but I do think the Meathook ban's going to change it at least a little bit, so definitely gonna be exciting to see where it does end up settling, or if anything changes at all, because it might not. Maybe we'll just see 10 times the mono blue now. Either way, guys, if you made it this far into the video, then y'all are champions, and I super duper appreciate you, and I will see you in the next video.